Okay, so in this part, this is line 3, we are going to play some power chords. So you may have played these already. These are open string power chords. If not, then I'll go over these quickly right here. In another lesson, we can get a little bit more in depth what they're all about. But yeah, I'll do a quick review and then we'll go through line 3. So let's get started. Okay, so now what we're going to do is going to play open string power chords. So we're going to just go through the 3 main power chords and not in order of the song. We'll come back to how we use them in the song. But so what we do, we start out with this. That's an E5 power chord. And E5 open power chords because we're using open strings. Later on, we'll learn fretted chords, like this is an A5 or A power chord. By the way, if you see an A5, G5, D5, any of those, they're just power chords. So this is a fretted power chord, and we usually just call this A5, G5, and we do call these E5, A5, D5s. But we just want to know that these are open string power chords because they use the open strings. So again, this is E5. And what we're using here is our open E string. So we're going to play that. And then in the 2nd fret on the string below that, you hit that note. So it's open E string. That note on the 2nd fret on the A string. And this open E string is what gives the chord its name. So that's an E5 power chord because we're using the open E string. Now if we take our finger and bring it down 1, and we instead of the E string we play the open A string, and that note that we have fretted in the 2nd fret on the D string, open A, 2nd string, 2nd fret on the D string. If that's our open A, what do you think that is? It's an open A5 power chord because we're playing the open A string and the note below it in the 2nd fret. Open A string gives it its name, A5. Now if we go below that, we play our open D string, and then the string below that we fret the 2nd fret. What do you think we call that? Open D string, and then a note on the 2nd fret in the string below. We would call that a D5 or open D power chord because we're playing that open D string. So we got E5, open E string, A5, using the open A string, and D5, using open D string. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to go to the middle one, our open A string, and the fret below that in the 2nd fret. The string below that in the 2nd fret. Open A, 2nd fret on the D string. So that's our A5. Then we're going to go to a D5. We bring this all down, open D string, note right there in the 2nd fret. So these are 2 chords, our A5 and our D5. Now again, if you go on the music and you see the notes in the staff above that, you notice this sort of looks like a half note, but there's no line above that. And this line, by the way, is called a stem. It's just a single circle that's open. It's not filled in. It's open, just like we had with the half note. But notice there's only one of those in the measure. And these are what we call whole notes. So if you see a hollow, like 0 looking thing with no stem on it, it's just a round hollow circle, that would be a whole note, and that counts for all 4 beats. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then when we played our D5, look, it's the same exact thing, another whole note. 2, 3, 4, 4. And this one, because there's so many, there's only playing one beat. You're only playing on that one note, but it's going to hold over all the beats. You do want to count this. You want to go like just like this. Well, you can do one of two things. You can, when you play the chord, you can say 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can just play the chord and then say 2, 3, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now be careful, you don't want to stop in between. You don't want to go 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and then you're kind of inserting a rest in there. So you want to go straight to it. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4 again. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And that's the 2 measures. Just you only do it once though. 2, 3, 4. D5. 2, 3, 4. Next measure, you go back to the A5, and those are again half notes. Notice the hollow circle with our stem. So you're just going to go nope, nope, and then you notice in the last measure we go into our E5, or open E string, in our 2 note below. String below. That's our E5. Notice that's a half note also. So we have 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Nope. Nope. And then at the very end, you notice we have our half note rest. The line with that rectangle on top that's all colored in. That's a half note rest. So that's where you got to stop it. So here's that whole line again. Here's A5, 2, 3, 5, D5, 2, 3, 5, D5 note, A5 note, E5 note, rest 4, or rest note. That's probably a good way to do it. A5, 2, 3, 4, D5, 2, 3, 4, A5 note, A5 note, E5 note, rest note, A5 2, 3, 4, D5 2, 3, 4, A5 note, A5 note, E5 note, rest. No, whoops, sorry, I was going to count 4. So one more time. 2, 3, 4, D5 2, 3, 4, A5 note, A5 note, E5 note, rest note, A5 2, 3, 4, D5 2, 3, 4, A5 note, A5 note, E5 note, rest note. And I'm just gonna 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Nope, 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 rest, no. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Nope, 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 rest, no. And there is line 3. Okay, so there you go. There's line 3. And this is where we focus on power chords. So just like the other lines we were working on, go ahead and do this separately. Make sure you can get this solid. And right now, maybe you're doing lines 1 and 2 together. You know, maybe you're playing along the backing track, tapping your foot. Everything's going good. But make sure you practice this one all on its own. You know, make sure you got solid with all your counts. You know, adding in the notes and figuring out where you stop. You know, where to rest, and then you know, start looping it, that little section on the backing track, and play along with that. Of course, you know, slow it down where you need to and build it up. And get that really solid. And then start playing lines 1, 2, and 3 all together. So if you can play through that, you're good. And guess what? I'm going to show you quickly in one more little last lesson. This is going to be a really quick lesson because the very last line is basically the same as the first one. So get those 3 down, and once you get those 3 down, it's going to be like nothing. It'll probably take you 10 minutes, if that, to go ahead and then be able to play through the whole thing, because line 4 is the same as line 1, except for one tiny bit of a difference. So work on that, and we'll see you in the last video.